Jenna stood in front of her mirror, excitement bubbling within her. She had chosen a lovely outfit for the evening, a beautiful dress that made her feel confident and ready to enjoy a night out with her friends. The plan was to visit the new trendy restaurant that everyone had been raving about. Jenna couldn't wait to experience it. Jenna, a vibrant and confident plus-sized woman, had heard great things about this place. As she reached the door, her friends Sarah and Mike caught up with her. They exchanged excited glances, eager to experience the restaurant's renowned cuisine and lively atmosphere. Arriving at the restaurant, Jenna's anticipation grew. The exterior was chic, with large windows revealing a bustling interior. Jenna and her friends Sarah and Mike walked in together. They were greeted by the hostess, Lisa, who looked up from her reservation list with a polite smile. Jenna mentioned her reservation, her voice filled with excitement. "Welcome back to PlotTwister. Before we unravel today's mystery, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you're always in the loop." Lisa's smile wavered slightly as she scanned the list. There was an awkward pause and Jenna's heart sank a little. Lisa looked back up, her expression a mix of apology and discomfort. She told them that she couldn't find their reservation and that the restaurant was fully booked for that evening. Jenna felt a wave of confusion and embarrassment. Sarah, determined to clear up the confusion, pulled up the confirmation email on her phone and showed it to Lisa. Lisa glanced at it but remained firm. She mentioned something about a strict dress code and seating policy, which left Jenna feeling more humiliated. Jenna's mind raced, trying to process the situation. Her friends argued politely but firmly. But it was clear Lisa wasn't going to change her stance. Feeling crushed, Jenna turned and walked out with her friends. They found a nearby park bench and sat down. Jenna's emotions were a whirlwind of anger, hurt, and confusion. She couldn't believe what had just happened. Her friends tried to console her, but it was hard to shake off the sting of rejection. Jenna stared at the ground, replaying the incident in her mind. She had never felt so small and insignificant. Her friends offered words of comfort, but it was hard for Jenna to find solace. She knew she had to process this on her own terms. As they sat together in the park, Jenna's thoughts began to shift from hurt to determination. This experience had cut deep, but she wasn't going to let it define her. Jenna's mind was already working, thinking of ways to address this injustice. She knew she had to stand up for herself and others who might face similar treatment. But for now, she took a deep breath and leaned on her friends, finding strength in their support as the night drew on. The next morning, Jenna woke up with the previous night's humiliation still fresh in her mind. She lay in bed for a moment, replaying the events over and over. But instead of feeling defeated, she felt a growing sense of determination. This wasn't just about her. It was about something much bigger. Jenna sat down at her computer ready to take action. She started by researching discrimination laws and reading through reviews of the restaurant. To her surprise, she found several similar complaints about the restaurant's treatment of plus-size customers. Each story she read fueled her resolve. This wasn't an isolated incident. There was a pattern of discrimination that needed to be addressed. She decided to share her story on social media. Jenna crafted a heartfelt post detailing her experience and asking others to share their own. Within hours, her post went viral. Comments and messages poured in from people who had faced similar discrimination. Jenna was overwhelmed by the support and the sheer number of people who had experienced what she had. Her story resonated and the outpouring of support gave her strength. As the day went on, Jenna received messages from local media outlets wanting to cover her story. She agreed to speak with them, realizing the importance of bringing this issue to a wider audience. During interviews, Jenna spoke passionately about her experience and the need for change. Her voice shook with emotion, but she remained composed, driven by her newfound mission. Amidst the flood of messages, one stood out. Karen, a well-known body positivity activist, reached out to Jenna. They arranged to meet and discuss the next steps. When they met, Karen was warm and supportive. She listened intently as Jenna recounted her story together. They brainstormed ways to address the issue and make a lasting impact. Karen introduced Jenna to others who had faced similar discrimination. They shared their stories and supported one another, forming a tight-knit group with a common goal. Jenna felt a renewed sense of purpose, knowing she wasn't alone in this fight. With the support of Karen and the group, Jenna's determination solidified. They decided to take action, and Jenna knew this was just the beginning. She felt empowered and ready to stand up against the injustice she had faced. As she looked around at her newfound friends, she knew they were in this together, ready to make a difference and ensure no one else would have to endure what she had. The day of the protest arrived. Jenna felt a mix of nervousness and excitement as she approached the restaurant. A small crowd had already gathered, holding signs with messages about body positivity and inclusivity. Jenna's heart swelled with pride seeing so many people standing up against discrimination. Karen was there organizing the group and handing out more signs. Jenna joined her, feeling a surge of confidence. They had planned this carefully, ensuring it would be a peaceful yet impactful demonstration. Jenna took a deep breath, ready to share her story with the world once more. As the protest gained momentum, more people joined in. Passersby stopped to see what was happening, and many decided to stay and support the cause. The crowd grew larger and the energy was palpable. Reporters arrived, their cameras capturing the passionate faces and the powerful messages on the signs. Jenna stood in the center of it all, speaking to the crowd. She recounted her experience, her voice strong and unwavering. She spoke about the humiliation she felt and the importance of fighting against such discriminatory practices. The crowd responded with cheers and applause, their support boosting Jenna's resolve. Suddenly, the restaurant's manager, Mr. Thompson, stepped outside. He looked uneasy as he approached the protesters. Jenna's heart raced as she realized he was coming to address them. Mr. Thompson tried to maintain a calm demeanor, but it was clear he was feeling the pressure from the protest and the media attention. Mr. Thompson apologized for the inconvenience, but stood by the restaurant's policies. Jenna wasn't satisfied with his response. She stepped forward, challenging him to acknowledge the emotional impact of their discriminatory practices. The crowd grew silent, waiting for his response. The tension was thick as Mr. Thompson hesitated. Jenna felt the weight of the moment, knowing how crucial it was for their voices to be heard. Finally, Mr. Thompson offered to discuss the matter further, hinting at a willingness to find a resolution. The crowd erupted in applause, sensing a small victory. Local businesses and organizations began to show their support. A nearby cafe offered free drinks to the protesters, and several local shops donated supplies. Jenna felt a sense of community and solidarity that she had never experienced before. As the day came to an end, the protests concluded peacefully. Jenna looked around at the smiling faces and felt a deep sense of accomplishment. They had made their voices heard and the impact was undeniable. The media buzzed with photos and videos of the event, spreading their message even further. Jenna returned home exhausted but exhilarated. She knew this was just the beginning, but today had been a significant step forward. The support from the community and the attention from the media gave her hope that real change was possible. She felt more determined than ever to continue the fight against discrimination and to stand up for what was right. The protest made headlines, news reports and social media buzzed with images and videos of the demonstration. Jenna's story was everywhere, and the public response was overwhelming. People from all walks of life voiced their support, condemning the restaurant's discriminatory practices. The pressure on the restaurant was mounting. Inside the restaurant, Mr. Thompson held an emergency meeting with his staff. They had to address the growing backlash. Negative reviews flooded their social media pages, and review sites and their phone lines were jammed with complaints. Mr. Thompson knew they had to act quickly to salvage their reputation. Later that day, Jenna received an unexpected call. It was Mr. Thompson. He apologized for the incident and expressed a desire to meet and discuss a resolution. Jenna was cautious but agreed to the meeting. She wanted to ensure that real change would come from this. Jenna and Karen met with Mr. Thompson at a neutral location. The atmosphere was tense, but Jenna was determined to stay calm and focused. Mr. Thompson reiterated his apology and admitted that the restaurant needed to reevaluate its policies. Jenna listened carefully, her expression serious. They discussed the incident in detail, with Mr. Thompson acknowledging the emotional impact it had on Jenna and others who had similar experiences. He proposed implementing new policies to prevent discrimination and to promote inclusivity. Jenna appreciated his willingness to make changes but needed to see concrete actions. Mr. Thompson agreed to work with body positivity organizations to create more inclusive policies. They discussed training sessions for the staff to better understand and address the needs of all customers. Jenna felt a glimmer of hope, seeing the potential for real change. As they wrapped up the meeting, Mr. Thompson promised to start implementing the changes immediately. He invited Jenna and Karen to be a part of the process, ensuring transparency and accountability. Jenna agreed, knowing this was a crucial step toward making a lasting impact. News of the meeting spread quickly. The restaurant issued a public apology and outlined the steps they were taking to address the issue. The community's response was cautiously optimistic. People were eager to see if the restaurant would follow through on their promises. Jenna felt a sense of accomplishment but knew the work wasn't over. She remained involved, attending meetings and providing input on the new policies. The restaurant began to transform, slowly but surely, into a more welcoming space for everyone. The story continued to attract media attention, highlighting the positive changes. Jenna's role in driving this transformation was widely recognized, and she became a symbol of resilience and determination. Her efforts were making a difference, and the restaurant's response was a step in the right direction. As Jenna reflected on the journey, she felt a renewed sense of purpose, knowing that her actions had sparked a movement for greater inclusivity and respect. Positive changes started to take shape at the restaurant. New policies were introduced focusing on inclusivity and respect for all customers, regardless of their size or appearance. Staff members attended training sessions, learning about body positivity and how to create a welcoming environment. The transformation was gradual but noticeable. To celebrate these changes, the restaurant hosted a special event. Jenna and Karen were invited as guests of honor. Jenna felt a mix of emotions as she walked into the restaurant that had once humiliated her. This time, the atmosphere was different. The staff greeted her warmly, and the space felt inviting and inclusive. The event was a success, with people from the community coming together to support the new direction the restaurant was taking. Jenna mingled with the guests, sharing her story and the journey that led to this moment. She felt a deep sense of accomplishment and pride, knowing her efforts had made a real difference. Jenna's impact extended beyond the restaurant. She continued to advocate for body positivity, speaking at events and collaborating with organizations dedicated to fighting discrimination. Her confidence grew as she embraced her role as an activist, helping others find their voices and stand up for themselves. The community recognized Jenna's contributions. She was featured in local news stories and invited to speak at various gatherings. Her story inspired many, showing that one person's determination could lead to meaningful change. Jenna built new friendships and connections through her advocacy work, finding a supportive network that encouraged her to keep pushing for progress. Jenna's personal growth was evident. She felt more empowered and confident than ever before. Her experiences had shaped her into a strong, resilient advocate for inclusivity and respect. She knew there was still much work to be done, but she was ready to face the challenges ahead. The restaurant, now transformed into a welcoming space for all, became a symbol of positive change in the community. Jenna enjoyed a meal there, surrounded by friends and supporters. The atmosphere was filled with laughter and warmth, a stark contrast to her first visit. Reflecting on her journey, Jenna felt a deep sense of fulfillment. She had turned a moment of humiliation into a powerful moment for change. Her story was a testament to the power of standing up against injustice and fighting for a better world. Jenna's victory was not just her own, it was a triumph for everyone who believed in the importance of inclusivity and respect. As the evening drew to a close, Jenna knew this was just the beginning of a brighter, more inclusive future. What are your thoughts on the twist we uncovered today? Comment your ideas below. Make sure to like and subscribe for a daily dose of drama and mystery. See you later with another twist.